welcome to Adventures in DeFi Kingdoms. Tonight we have a very special guest, Ogre Abroad. How you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks. How y'all doing tonight?
Doing well, and as always, Neindorf. Neindorf, say hi.
Hey everybody.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with us tonight, YouTube community out there. We got a really fun agenda plan, trying to keep it light and casual as we hang out. We want to go through a dev dive, give you a little bit of an update of what Neindorf's been working on in the lab. Hit on the AMA today. Jump into maybe some Kingdom Builder projects conversation. I want to get your guys' thoughts on pets as we've had a little more time to play with them. And then get into a giveaway. Actually, I'm going to do a battle with someone on our YouTube channel. And we have Pouring, who's on our Discord channel. I know he's giving away a hero tonight as well. So Neindorf has a fun little giveaway question for that. So Neindorf, do you have a question of the day for us?
Yeah, sure. So kind of as an intro to our dev dive, if anybody's been watching our Discord channel, I kind of posted a little bit of a teaser. I've had a lot of requests for getting the visual genetics of heroes posted out there onto our hero data app. So I posted, a little snip of stuff I'm working on. So, when it comes to the visual genes, my question is what is your preference? So you've got the hairstyles, the back appendages, the head appendage. What would your go-to visual genetic be for the cool factor?
All right, Ogre, I'll let you go first.
Well, right now, I just want to try and go through them and make them. That's what I'm doing with my heroes. Just enjoying the journey a little bit, looking for that cheat sheet, right? So that I know which combos make which one, and I don't waste too many summons. But
That's
seeing them
right.
and combining them, I think that. So if you think about it, like, why do people buy skins nowadays? Sometimes it's because they look cool. Sometimes it's a proof that they were there, and sometimes it's because it's attached to somebody. That's their skin they use. So I view all of these NFTs kind of the same way. So I don't think that there's going to be very many people that are going to say that a hero with wings does not look cooler. So in my mind, that gives that hero with wings more value.
Yeah, now that reminds me, the last AMA, I thought I caught Frisky Fox saying that Equip and Kangaroo. Well, it was Frisky's special AMA about duels. I thought I caught him and Kangaroo saying that equipment would be visible on the NFT card. Did you guys hear that as well?
I missed it.
Yeah, me too. I was not able to listen in on that
Well,
one.
let's hope I'm not making something up here. I thought that would be really neat as well, kind of for that same reason. You're customizing these heroes, and in our last podcast we talked about the discussion of it's fun seeing your guys battle in DFK Arena right now because the animations are so awesome, and you just get a little more attached to that hero. I think the same thing's going to happen if we're able to see some visuals, the equipment, the sword that you find on a rare quest, the sword of 1,000 truths or something like that.
Uh-huh.
All right,
So,
yeah, go ahead.
question, like to clarify, because maybe I did. So I remember a comment. It may have been even 2 weeks ago that they had made they were talking about pets to where, like, if you had attached a pet to a card, that you would be able to see that on the card. Like, the pet wouldn't just disappear; it would be represented on the card, kind of like with a badge, like PJ has for
Yeah,
those heroes of One of the Perilous Journey. Is that what you're talking about? Because if that's the case, then yes, I believe you did say something about that. That you'll be able to, like, kind of see that the hero is attached to that individual NFT
Um,
that the
yes,
pet is.
that is where it started, but I believe he also then went on to say equipment. I must have blocked the pet
Makes
portion
sense.
out of my mind. I am maybe leaning ahead too much, but I still don't have any pets. And so I just zoomed right on by the pets and right to the equipment, which I'm planning on holding. So I'll have pets eventually, but well, we can talk about that later. All right, so yeah, I guess that's good conversation. I'd say to answer your question, Neindorf, my favorite so far is the fallen angel one wing. It reminds me a lot of my favorite villain of all time, Sephiroth. from Final Fantasy VII. So I really want to go after that. Otherwise, one of my Gen Zeros now has red hair, which I really like. I thought that was pretty neat.
Nice. Yeah, I'm actually think I'm kind of digging the hairstyles. Some of them are pretty sweet. And you know, I don't know if it's like you said, it's certain heroes that you get more attached to. And maybe it's just something as honestly as simple as if you're scrolling really fast, and it's just the silhouette of the hero loads, I can tell my heroes by like their hairstyles and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's just something that my eyes starting to get drawn to.
Yep.
But then to answer, not I guess not really answer, but to your point about, armor showing on the hero card, I think it absolutely has to show on the hero card. Because right now, I mean, I'm just pulling up a summoner, right? Just the card I happen to be looking at right now.
Hmm.
And, they all have that same, basic uh, uniform, if you will. And that's not going to work. Like long term, that's going to have to be customizable to give these heroes a true identity and to make them actually seem unique. So I don't know. They're going to have to get this stuff on the card, in my opinion.
I will never be able to sell my heroes if that happens. I'll become so attached to them.
uh,
All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump into the dev dive. So, Neindorf, you've been in the lab toiling away. What are you working on?
Yeah, like we were discussing the visual genes, right? I think we've had a lot of people looking for that. They're trying to have some fun with it. It's like the next kind of avenue of the game, and where summoning is kind of heading, where people want to see, what can they make that's new and exciting and different after there's over 200 and some thousand heroes out there. You kind of want to distinguish yourself a little bit. So yeah, I mean, if you have Discord, you could pull up and show that little snippet. Otherwise, you listeners, go head over to our Discord channel and look at our general. I got a little snippet, a teaser posted there. Um, for starters, I'm probably just going to put that on the hero data page, and then eventually I'll look to continue to add to it so that when you compare two heroes and you get that summoning breakdown, that'll give you the percentages on the visual genes as well. That'll take a little bit more doing. I got a little bit more research on that one to do yet.
Yeah, I never really knew what the names of these are, so I have this pulled up on YouTube, and of course there's a little bit of a delay, so YouTubers out there, be a tad patient here. Cat Ears 5, Fawn Horn 7. I love seeing the names here. That's really neat.
Oh yeah, and just as an FYI, I put the numbers after it because if you guys know and remember how the genetics work for classes, for
Hmm.
example, how like class number one and number two can mutate into class
Yep.
number
Okay.
16.
Advanced one.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
So
clever.
I
So
put
that's
the
a
numbers
easy
here.
way for us to map it in our minds as we're watching it.
Yes. So it
Yeah, I'm
follows
with
the
you on
exact
that
same numbering scheme.
because I didn't know the names of them either. So I thought that was really cool to be able to see that. And I still don't know them for the hairstyles. Like I recently just found one for the horns. The wings was the first one I like tried figuring out and worked through because it's the most visually impressive. Some of the horn ones, it's like I don't know. Some of those advanced level ones, they don't even look good. Like they look funky to me. I don't like them. Like the crown one is pretty cool, but
Oh
the
yeah.
ones that look like monk haircuts, it's like what's going on there?
Do you still have Discord up by chance? I
Yeah,
might
I
have
do.
pasted in another one.
Oh, nice. Excellent. Oh yeah, this is good.
It's getting bigger.
Yeah. And the background style, seeing you present these here, I know our friends over at Blogside Chats, go subscribe and check out their YouTube if you haven't yet. They've been pumping the backgrounds playing a role for a long time. I know that's been their shtick, almost like travel has been your shtick,
Yeah.
Neindorf. And in the last duel AMA, they did talk about the background having an impact on the duels themselves. So I guess let's just go there real quick. Any thoughts on backgrounds? Are you gonna go like all swamp, or are you gonna rotate it up and keep a whole bunch of them?
I am definitely keeping a bunch of them, and the only thing I love those screenshots, Nondorf. It looks amazing. The only thing I see missing is the element, and I think that's going to come into play big time with the pets because if you notice, each pet has an element also. So
Oh
I
yeah.
just pure speculation, but I have a feeling that if you take a pet that has like ice element and you put it with a hero that has an ice element, there's going to be a benefit there that makes it more appealing than if you take that ice element pet and put it with like a wind element hero. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Kind of a
So,
compatibility almost.
Yeah, I like that.
exactly.
I love that idea. And then you pair that with your ice armor, your ice spear or something like that. That would be fantastic.
Right? Now, so 100%, let's reiterate, that was 100% speculation. That does not test my knowledge or anything like that. But I could see it coming, right? And that's
Yeah.
Oh
why
yeah.
I love blockchain games. It's like, in my mind right now, the game is figuring out the game so that I can get
Yes.
some assets and pre-position myself so that when the game actually launches,
Right.
I've got assets that are more valuable than other people. You know what I mean? And that
I
is the
think
game.
Yeah, I think you just described why we created this podcast because that was where we found ourselves doing. Is we're like, you know what, we're playing that game. So yeah,
Yep.
that's hilarious. That I never actually like stopped to think about how and why we actually got into that. But I think you just nailed it right there.
Yeah. And just so you know, our YouTube listeners are well accustomed to reckless speculation, and they realize that nothing we're saying is financial advice or anything of the sort. So,
Nice. Excellent.
yeah.
Most people that know me know that that's true of pretty much everything that comes out of my mouth.
All right. Awesome. What else on Dev Dive? Or actually, one thing, if you don't mind, that I wanted to point out, Stone Carver just showed up. And I don't know if a lot of people know about this, but you have a sweet carving recipe page right now. This is some of the stuff that's behind the paid content. But if you check out market data, go to the carving recipes, you have listed here what the market value is and what the crafting value is. So lesser market stone or lesser might stone right now, which I crafted a few of them, it's up at 18 jewel. Crafting costs 12 jewel. So I'm going to flip those. And that's a nice little 6 jewel bump right there.
Yeah, that's right. And you get to see all the unit prices. I think the only part of it that we have behind the paywall on this particular page is that crafting price, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So you're still able to see all the components and their unit price or unit quantities. Again, we're trying to get, like we said, our mentality has always been get the data to everybody, and then it's the data that's going to save you the time that we're kind of keeping as our kind of our premium back pocket feature.
Yep, that's right. Did you guys visit the stone carver today? He was kind of like in the middle of the night, left, he's kind of, well, at least for my time zone.
No, I missed it. I was a little upset too. I was like, man, his hours need to be a little more regulated, I think.
I think they're actually trying to change it up for different time zones, but I'm not
Oh
sure.
yeah.
Yeah. I didn't. I've actually got a few stones that I'm sitting on just from the raffles. I've been
Sure.
waiting and trying to breed like the awesome heroes.
The beefy fellas. Yeah, I've been watching the Greater Stone Market on Fox Fox Swap, and I mean they're going for a pretty penny. But I have picked up a few greater crystals. I cannot wait for us to be able to craft the larger stones and crystals. Those are fun for me because anything that enhances the summoning process, I mean
Mhm.
that's a fun part of the game.
Yeah, it is. That's the best part. Everybody loves that mystery. It's like, ooh, I could get something that like almost is life changing in some cases.
Right.
At least is going to be awesome, or might be a minor disappointment, but it's still going to be pretty cool, most likely. Because worst case scenario, I could just use it to farm more resources that are going to be worth something in the future.
Right.
Yep,
But
that's right.
using my time. So yeah, I don't know. I'm super excited about it, and I know there's been a lot of FUD recently about DFK, blah blah blah. But the fact is, they're building. More importantly, the community is building. Awesome teams like yourselves are just out here making cool stuff that makes it that much cooler. I mean, we've got DFK Duel and Arena now. In
Mm-hmm.
my mind, the team may not even have the best combat game for these. In a perfect world, there's going to be another game out there that has that. Like, let them focus on one thing and let somebody else focus on another. Just the same way that I don't go to Microsoft to buy my antivirus. I go to an antivirus company to get
Sure.
my antivirus, and Microsoft runs my computer or Linux, whatever. Um, I don't know. I love the ecosystem component of blockchain. It was relevant in some cases in some games, but here I think it's going to be amazing. Not even just in DFK, just the opportunity for community created content in cryptocurrency gaming sector is going to be huge. And I'm excited for it. Sorry, rambling.
No, that's
We're
good.
just as
I
excited.
totally agree.
Yeah, I really I love this. I think it was based on a book. I don't know, but Frisky references the Ready Player One kind of idea, and I couldn't imagine a better way to kind of construct and build out that infrastructure. I don't know. This is kind of takes me back to the start of the project where I just these I found myself really wanting to invest in almost like the people as much as what the game was itself at that time. I mean, just because of the vision and the leadership. So I don't know, it's still got me hooked. And right now I'm using the low price to accumulate. So accumulate jewel, I suppose. All right, let's go to any other. Wait, I kind of derailed us off the dev dive. Neindorf, what else are you working on? Anything else you want to talk about?
I'm trying to think what else.
I had
That's
one
kind
other
of the
one.
big one. What's that?
I had one other one. Along with the paywall, a feature that we're going to open up here soon-ish. I think. I don't know how hard this is to implement, so I might be saying too soon of a giving too soon of an indication. But for new accounts, we're gonna let them have. We have to decide what it's going to be, but I think a day of access to the paid content. So that way people can really, give this a chance to try out. And, I guess we think we're going to keep this live. If someone really wants to go through the effort of gaming the system every day and creating a new email address, I guess more power to you. You have a lot more free time on your hands than I do.
Right. Yeah. And again, it's just like you're kind of alluding to is we want you to be able to see what this is all about. We're not trying to just steal a quick few jewel from people. If it's something that they want, we'd hope that they'd be a long time subscriber, not just like you said, just get in and out real quick. So yeah, I think that's definitely something that we'll look into. I'd kind of forgotten. Yeah, I'm so wrapped around the visual genes right now that yeah, that's probably where I'll head next, unless something else in our community comes up that people want, kind of earlier. We do kind of like to get a lot of feedback, so I'll preface it with that. But yeah, that's a great one. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and that ties us to we do have a grant out there on the Kingdom Builder website, so check that out. Shoot us some comments, read through it, give us some critical feedback. We're building this tool for you guys, so we'd love to know what you think. Give us feedback there. Shoot us DMs on Discord. You know where to find us. Our next major milestones, we want to set up alerts for Crystal Veil heroes and alerts for tokens. And so if you want to set an alert for like the price of gold or something like that, or the price of might stones, like, oh, it's time for me to go sell because they hit the threshold. We just feel that's going to bring a lot more utility to the tool that we're offering. We're also then next going to be providing data on pets. So that's something that we're asking for in a small milestone as well. And so we're hoping to provide just as much data that we have for the heroes on the pet side of things. And then lastly, what we're most passionate about, our long-term listeners know, is, we really want to build something out for combat. And we believe that the future combat system, maybe duels won't have it, but probably won't. But the future combat system is going to have a nice, heavy, healthy, and competitive meta environment. And we want to start creating some analysis tools around that and stream battles. I think that'd be really cool.
So roll back. I love the idea of having newcomers be able to check out the site a little bit more. I think almost like a walkthrough or a tutorial or something like that, showing people, because not everybody's going to point and click. And our community is the DOIRs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do it yourselves. We do our own research. We look into it. We poke around. We press buttons. We figure things out. But not everybody is that way. In fact, most people in the world are not that way.
Yeah.
So to kind of hold the hand a little bit and make it a little bit easier. Maybe point out the top 3 or top 5 features and say, hey, you guys should make sure at least check these things out, because you think you'll be able to find a lot of value in them. I think something like that would also be really
Yeah.
useful as well.
And we do have some great videos made by one of our other community podcasts, the Bogside Chats. Maybe we could like put a link to those podcasts in the page.
Yep.
Neindorf, that might be
This,
something.
yeah, I think like you're right, especially in like the sign up page. That's
Right.
kind of a generic form right now. We could like litter that with content and include some links to their videos that kind of walk you through all the features that we have. I love that. I'd kind of, again, I haven't created an account on our website in ages. I kind of forgot what that page even looks like. Uh,
All right.
Understandable.
So let's chit chat about the AMA. We might really be leaning on our listeners out here today because thank goodness for Sandwich Punch. It's funny. He's always said, I think they refer to Hubert's Discord messages as the sacred texts of Hubert. Well, I'll call them like the holy chapters of Sandwich because they save me in a pinch when I can't catch an AMA. And I believe Sandwich is even in here in chat with us. And let me make sure I get this right, Sandwich. You free type all of those notes on the go. I thought you were using some kind of text transcoder, but that's really impressive. So some of the notes that stuck out to me, zones. And so this is your shtick, Neindorf. You've been on this one for a while. Frisky said, I like the style and would love to see more zones like that. I think the focus right now is with newer features that we're putting into a revamped art style, like lands come to mind with lands. With the lands feature, we'll have the ability for players to basically enter their own land zone and see the stuff that's there as far as resources and what they're able to do and harvest and what they're able to set up. So they're talking about kind of this immersive art experience and be able to travel. I think the question was being able to travel between the north and east marketplace in the actual marketplace itself. And so I would love to incorporate more zones and arts, allow for guilds to fill up an area, something like this. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Maybe Ogre, you go first.
I love the thought of having like one of the corners of the marketplace be like guild corner where player guilds that maybe reach a certain threshold or set of requirements are then given a booth to where people that jump in the game and aren't even on Discord might find out about it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And find a guild and a group of people with a community that they enjoy hanging out with, and that pulls them into it. I think that's amazing. I think another one would be for ecosystem devs and content like ADFK. And all the other cool tools that are out there. I think there's that. I would love to see that integrated into the game in a meaningful way as well.
Yeah, I think what comes to mind for me is like, so, talking to visuals here on the hero, right? You kind of can, after you know how the third party API is sort of inside and outside, kind of as I've spent so much time in it, you can really see that every little piece in there is really meant to reflect something required for the UI of the game. So that's kind of why the API doesn't parse out the recessive information because I don't need to display that on a hero, right? Only the dominant hair color shows up. So I think, this kind of leads me to believe that we're going to get to, once we get land, especially once it becomes customizable, like if you're building buildings, I mean, it's going to have to be on the contract, you're on the token, if you will, for that land. And I'm really hoping that will generate zones on the fly, kind of like your hero card is generated on the fly,
Yes,
where, you've added a building and boom, there it's going to pop up now. And it's kind of going to layer out all these buildings. And then as you upgrade, the next time you visit that zone, boom, there it is. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Well, here's the question though. I mean, how much do you really need to use blockchain in a game? Does every transaction need to be on chain? Does every building need to be on chain? In my mind, I love what you're saying, where you're upgrading and modifying those NFTs, where the land is an NFT, and as you add a castle to it, or a blacksmith to it, or a stable, like that NFT gains value. However, I don't think that's absolutely necessary. And that will take a lot longer to do something like that. Where in some cases it might be smarter to take this. I mean, why, if I own that land, why does anything else need to be on blockchain? It just shows that I own it. And so when I go into that game and I have that land is just a digital token. It's data. It doesn't matter what it is. I could take that same token into 20 other games and they could give it value in those 20 games by creating it as a sword or a car or whatever. I mean, all it is representing a token and assigning value to that token.
I see what
So
you're saying.
in the game, it could keep track of all the buildings and upgrades and resources you have without necessarily it needing to be on the actual NFT. The NFT just becomes the key to the vault being the land where you have all your resources and buildings and advancements. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could see that. That could make sense.
Yeah, like you were saying earlier, it kind of unlocks the opportunity for third party apps to really come in and make a difference. And hopefully that's where, we find this, you know, utopia of content that's being created by both the developers, third party developers, and the in game developers. Sandwich Punch here said he's hoping for something like Heroes of Might and Magic. And I'm not very familiar with that game, but I imagine many of you out there are.
If he's
Yeah.
talking about the ones that I'm imagining, it's like a civilization style game, but hero based, where you have your hero going around the map and building armies and conquering stuff, and fighting monsters, which was a really cool game. I loved it also. By the way, mad props, Sandwich. I need to go back and read it because I missed the AMA, and you're a lifesaver with what you do, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, and
Uh,
I should also shout out real quick while we're on this that I believe I got that nugget of his speed typing from Sergeant Filthy McNasty's podcast, and he's in chat as well. So go subscribe to him as well. So thanks,
Heck yeah.
thanks for what you do, guys. Sorry, Neindorf, I interrupted you.
no, yeah. I just kind of was gonna maybe continue to say that, like we were talking, hair color might be maybe blue hair is represented by an 8 in the hero card, right? So I think it would be very similar to say that you could just put, if you purchased a blacksmith, that could be an 8 on the hero card, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now what does that look like? It's completely up to the game designers. It's just the fact that you have purchased, and placed that on there is kind of what I'm hoping. That way, it's up to, as they want to change their artistic style over time, because we've already seen the game change, quite a bit. I think the art's gotten a lot better over time. I think if you just, kind of keep just the blockchain just for the raw numbers, if you will, like, yes, there is a blacksmith, say. I think that's maybe that nice balance. And then that way that value is maintained on chain. So if you sell it to somebody, it's permanent, it's there. But then what does it look like? Where is it? Maybe does the castle have turrets? That sort of thing could kind of be left up to the artistic team and kind of help um, maybe provide value in a different way that in that method. I don't know. What do you think?
I like it. I would, and I'd love for even, there to be the ability to maybe have guilds or owners have some artistic license or control in like choosing attributes that the amazing art team designs. And so,
Oh
maybe
man.
you could even influence the actual look of the things that you're putting on your land. Jeez, I'm
I
gonna go
like
buy
that.
land right now. I'm so
Oh yeah,
stoked.
yeah. How much is land?
Yeah.
So I
Uh,
like the also the idea of possibly even having the buildings be their own NFTs. So like, if
Ooh.
you build a castle, that castle is an NFT. So like, let's say I sell one land and buy another because I want it to be a different location. I can take my castle with me and sell the land without it, um, and attach that to my new cat or my new land, kind of like a pet would be attached to a hero, but is mobile and it's its own NFT.
Interesting. Wow. Yeah. Cheapest land is 84,000 jewel right now. All right.
yeah, just out of reach. All right.
Just a little bit.
Man, I remember when they first came out and people had them listed for like $1 million. It was
Yeah.
ridiculous,
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah.
know. I was like, that's more than my real life house.
right?
By a
I was
lot.
laughing because I had one. It's like I won one of them in the raffle and I put it up in for sale. I think it was like 49,000 jewel or something like that.
Yeah.
Which seemed ridiculous because at the time it was like $380,000, but it was like
Right.
10% of what the
What
other
someone
people
else has
had
sold.
on there. I
Right.
was like, I guess that's a reasonable price. Like, whatever. I don't really want to sell it, but if somebody wants to pay that much for it, screw it. I'll sell it, let it go.
Are you
Oh
still
yeah.
holding land?
Yes. Yeah,
Awesome.
I actually won two, and nobody ever bought the one. So,
There you go.
uh,
Oh, nice.
yeah, I'm sitting on some land.
Are you planning
Keep that in your
on?
back pocket.
Are you affiliated with any guilds? I guess I'm not aware of that. If you are.
I mean, I haven't been beat into any of them yet, but
All right.
I mean, I've been in
Hear that,
Discord for several
YouTubers
of
swarm them now.
them.
Uh,
All right.
But yeah, no, I mean, I'm affiliate. I wouldn't say that I've like claimed a home in any guild. I talk to a lot of the guilds. I am in a lot of the discords for a lot of the guilds. In all reality, I don't know that I want to have any one guild. I'd rather be like with all the guilds.
Yeah,
You know?
it'll
sure.
be curious to see how, because it does seem like the team is very guild focused.
Mhm.
Can you run your own fiefdom that's, the Ogre Abroad kingdom, and then allow people to. I imagine I think it could be like a system where you can let people mine off your resources or use your blacksmith shop because it's super powerful. And you can forge the rarest silver there or something like that. And then that way you could, do like community giveaways or something like that, or hold a jousting tournament. I think that'd be really neat if they'd also allow it to not be fully guild affiliated. That way you could kind of, be community focused like you've been before.
And that's kind of my hope, that I can do that with the land and be like non-agnostic. I mean, I'm chain agnostic. I mean, I love my Harmony. Harmony is my home chain, but there's plenty of other networks and blockchains out there that I like, and I kind of want. I guess I view guilds the same way. Like, there's a lot of them that are really cool, and I don't want to exclude any of them by attaching myself to one. There's a lot of really cool people in our community.
Yeah,
And while guilds are a great resource in games, they can also build walls and I don't know.
I can see
There's
that too.
Yeah, I could hear that. I hear what you're saying there. You don't want to. It's kind of that fine line between, hey, we're affiliated and you can't go anywhere else, kind of thing.
right.
Yeah. All right, so let's go on to, and I would say YouTubers, maybe start throwing in any other AMA topics you want us to hit on. The only other item I had was the timing. So Frisky said, that we've shipped more this last month than any month prior. We're coming really close to Duel. Dreamer will be speaking a little bit more about it tomorrow, which is Tuesday, June 7th, at his keynote. And I'm guessing and then he said, because it's for the first time in the game that we'll have any PvP elements. So I'm guessing they're going to demo probably PvP either live or show some streams of recorded battles at this. What are your guys' thoughts on this nugget?
Yeah,
I
I don't
mean,
know. Timing's hard. I think all I know is I'm excited that this is the sixth month, so it's the last month of quarter two, and the roadmap says duels are quarter two. So I'm ready to go.
10-4. Ogre, you ready to duel?
eh, yes and no. I mean, I'm not that excited about it. I view it kind of as like a teaser mini game for the future.
Yeah, I will say, um, I had kind of mixed feelings about it. I think I'm overall getting, kind of caught up in the excitement when the news kind of was unrevealed a little more in depth. When Bolon and Risen went on that podcast a couple weeks ago, I was a little disappointed at first. I think it's more so my longing for a skill based combat system.
Yeah.
I've been just getting wrecked on DFK Arena, and for some reason I continue to play. And that's how we'll do one of our giveaways later tonight. But it feels like and I feel even worse when I have a bad level up with my heroes too. I mean, it's just kind of statistic luck or the willingness to really shell out a lot of jewel to buy the heroes that have had the best level up so far, which I think should contribute to some amount of a hero's success. But I would like to see the game maybe 75-25, 75% skill based. And not just like the skill of the hero, but the skill of piloting the hero and choosing the way that you want your actions to execute, as they've kind of described with this gambit system, and only 25% stat based. I mean, I think to me that would be a nice blend where you still have to credit the strong heroes that people are willing to buy because this is a free economy, but I'd love for there to be that introduction of player piloting skill as well. What do you think about that, Neindorf?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Yeah, I don't. I think you said it pretty well. I don't have a whole lot to add. I just, I'm with you. There's that thirst for combat, and I guess that's really all I can say. Arena is kind of fulfilling that a little bit at the moment, but again, it's leaving some aspects of our heroes out, and I'm a data kind of guy, so I want to see all the hero genetics play, and that just make it that much more complicated.
Yes, 100%. Um, in my mind, the game isn't one of like just stat based, right? It's complex. There's recipes. You got to figure stuff out. The player versus player aspect should involve that same aspect of the game. And this one is like mindless, just like you said, it's kind of like a pay to win. Whoever has the strongest hero wins. And that, yeah, okay, there's some luck in there and a little bit of chance, but that's completely counterintuitive to the rest of the game in my mind. And you know what? Maybe I play it differently than most, and people disagree with me, and that's cool. It's just the way I see it. It could be a lot more tactical.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you on that one, Raph.
Yeah, those are the kind of games that I'm just drawn to. All right, so one of the questions over here on YouTube is from Zachary Parker, pet market correction, question mark. And then Rebel Scum with a follow-up question. What do you mean, Zachary? I'm not sure I'm following either, but I'll ask you guys because you've been probably watching Pets closer, at least Neindorf, you've been watching Pets closer than I have. I guess maybe he's thinking that pets might go down or up. I think they also said that there was going to be a general boost to pets, which I was kind of surprised to hear that already, given that really no, I mean, it's just general content. Like they have 3 stars, but you don't know what the 3 stars is. Nidorf, what are your
Yeah.
thoughts first?
So I
Well,
mean, go ahead, Ogre.
the 3 stars, I believe, were like mythic, rare, and common, and it's the
Right.
and they did mention at some point. I don't remember where I heard it or read it, but they did specifically point out legendary is legendary. So in my mind, 3 star is going to be significantly better than a 2 star, and the legendary pets or mythic pets are going to be significantly better than
Yeah.
a legendary or a rare pet.
So
Yeah, I agree with that. I thought it was just funny that it sounded to me, and maybe I'm just getting kind of the order of information confused, but it sounded to me like Frisky then said, like that came out a couple weeks ago, and then he said in this last AMA that pets are going to get a boost on what they were going to be, and I thought that was interesting considering that we don't know what the like how good 3 stars is right now. You know what I mean?
right, is it 1%
I
boost
gotcha.
on
Yeah.
fishing or 10% boost? Right.
Yeah, and my guess there would be that they had initial intentions for the
Mm,
pets, and then there
okay.
was such a demand, and they're holding such a high price and value that they're saying, okay, well, if the community values it at that much,
Hmm.
we need to give that much value into it, where we need to build more, to where, yeah, like you said, maybe it was supposed to be 1 star is 1%, but now it's going to be 10% or something like that.
Ah.
And just I just looked at the floor prices just so we can, add that in. Commons are holding at 20, rares are holding at 65, and your mythic is upwards of over 1300 jewel. So that kind of gives you that bell curve.
Wow.
So and I think it's going to stay, honestly, I think it's going to stay relatively high because there's not as many eggs as heroes, I don't believe, first of all.
Oh,
And I'm like I kind of mentioned in our last podcast, I think I'm going to want at least one pet per hero.
yep.
Anybody who's questing is going to need a pet attached to them to maximize the output of that hero. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Hmm.
So where I was at the very first night when I bought a whole bunch of pets is I did the math. And I would recommend that everybody sit down and do the math, the average math on like average amount of times they have to go on a quest to get a pet egg, etc. I'm sorry, not even that part. Just the hatching of the pet eggs, to where you pay 50, you have the improved chances of getting mythic, etc., and so on. I believe it was like 833 jewel on average to get a legendary, and like 2,400 or 2,500 jewel on average to get a mythic. Um,
Okay.
and that's not even taking into account rarity of actually finding them and how many are in game versus how many heroes are in game. That's just what it costs
So you're saying
to
that's kind
take
of
an
the
egg,
almost the market value in
right?
essence.
Well, yeah, because
Interesting.
if you pay the 50 jewel every single time, that means you have a 2% chance,
Hmm.
which means you have to
Yep.
summon 50 times,
Yeah.
which means you just spent 50 eggs, whatever the cost of that is, plus you spent 50 times 50 in jewel, 2,500
Ah,
jewel,
yeah.
Hmm.
just to get a single mythic. Um,
Fascinating. I had not thought of it that way.
So how do you? I like that a lot. How are you valuing? How are you valuing the stars? Then are you going? Are you targeting? And let's dive into what you mentioned before. And again, folks, we're recklessly speculating. We're off.
100%.
Yeah,
I
as you
don't.
know, it's territory now. Do you feel like a mythic 2 star will be better than a legendary 2 star? Or
100%.
okay, so
I mean,
yeah.
just think of the stat boosts that mythics versus legendaries versus rares get when you go to like level 5 and level 10.
Hmm.
There's built-in benefits to having those higher tier rarities that definitely give that asset value. I believe 100%.
Man, you guys are kicking the FOMO for me in high gear here. So let's just cruise on to the pet part of the podcast, since we kind of naturally segued there, anyways. My strategy now looks a little silly, and it was, I'm gonna just go ahead, and I hatched two, and I was like, I'm gonna sell my eggs right now. They're selling for a high amount of jewel. I don't know how many pets I'm gonna need. I really like purples and oranges in my in my repertoire of heroes. And so instead of me spending all this money on trying to hatch and trying to get that mythic or that legendary, I think I'm gonna just go out and buy a few. I have not purchased them yet. I kind of wanted to see what happened with the market, and I was thinking in my head that there might be a dip, but now with all this conversation, that might not be here. So I guess Neindorf, what are you currently doing with, we kind of have what Ogre's doing. What are you doing with your eggs at the moment?
Yeah, so I'm just slow rolling the open up. I'm doing the 24-hour style just because it's, a little cheaper and you still get a 1% chance at Mythic. So I think that's still, fairly good if you have a decent amount of eggs in the long run. Um, but beyond that, as a data guy, I just got the API up here kind of on the side. There's a few items in the pets in the API that really make me interested. One of them is an integer that's called season. So I have a strong suspicion that the bonuses could change over time with the season, if you will. And I don't really even know how far to take that wild, reckless speculation, other than I think these bonuses could change over time.
And
Yeah, I don't know.
I think in the
Uh,
AMA they also said that certain pets will hatch during certain seasons as well.
Interesting.
But I may I that I yeah I again, I only read the notes, and I was at that point, I think, skimming. So I don't know. Someone
Yeah.
on YouTube correct us. Yeah, but I interrupted.
No,
Go
you're
on.
good. So
Yeah.
the next one I see that's interesting is equipable at, which is a time. So that almost leads me to believe that there could possibly be a pet cooldown.
Hey, could you throw
Where
some of these images over in general Discord? Let's bring that up again.
Yeah, I will take a snip of the API. Actually, I could, yeah, that'll probably be the easiest. It's not the prettiest view. It's kind of long and narrow, but that's just the way that the website works. So I'll paste that in the general chat. There's the first part of it. And that's probably, I think, the most important part. So I'll just talk to that. And so now you can kind of see season is like towards the top there. Um, and then the next one we were just discussing is equipable at, which is an integer, and I believe that's just a timestamp. So again, that's leading me to wildly speculate that there might be, that means that there's times when they're not equipable. So is that a cooldown, or is it like if you unequip a pet from a hero, maybe there's a cooldown period where you can't go attach it to a new hero for a while.
Hmm.
That's my
That
wild
would make sense.
speculation on that one.
I'll buy that for $1.
And
Hungry at
then the
feed these
last
pets?
one. What's that?
Hungry at. We gonna have to feed these pets?
Yes, that's where I was headed. Hungry
Mm.
at.
Well, and
Either if
that
you
came
don't feed them,
from
they die,
what's that
right?
alpha that you had from Professor Tango
Oh, at
when you were out
DFK
in East
Denver.
Denver? Yeah.
Yeah, it was that you probably will be able to feed them some of the tokens in the game, like say bloaters. Uh, and so I'm suspecting that maybe in an equipped pet, if not fed, his bonus wanes over time. You need to
Hmm.
feed him in order to keep his bonus at top notch. I've
I
even
like
heard some people speculate that if you don't feed a pet, they could die. I was like, wow, okay,
I don't like
that
that.
would be fascinating.
Tamagotchi flashbacks.
Right.
But
Yeah.
with Benjamins.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
Exactly.
Uh,
idea.
Yeah. Mom, my Tamagotchi died, and it was
so, so
$200.
yeah, those
Mom,
are
I
the
grew
most
your entire
interesting ones to me.
Yeah. That's yeah, that hungry at that one's good. Thanks for sharing this. I really fascinating here, and well, if you're missing out, so I'm gonna have to go buy some pets. Are you guys ready for the green and yellow, and then it's gold eggs after that, right?
That's correct.
Maybe I'll well, I already said I was gonna give away a green egg today, or well, chance to give it away. You have to beat me in DFK. Which is like stealing
Oh,
candy from a baby. So we'll do a DFK arena duel with a YouTuber here coming up shortly. All right, so I'm gonna jump. I'm looking at the pet market right now. Um, Jumping back into the game and seeing if there's any YouTube comments. If you overfeed your pets, they should become obese, says iOS comment on YouTube. That's
no,
fantastic.
if
Oh
you feed them,
no,
what
my
about if you
pet has
feed them past
diabetes.
midnight?
Yeah. And our pets' heads are falling off. All
Yes.
right.
Not
Uh,
to make you FOMO, but I on that first night FOMO'd hard. I think I have like 60 some odd pets.
Nice.
dude, that's
That's nice.
awesome.
It was not one of my better moments. I'm not going to pretend that I was sober that night. And I was like, ooh, pets are finally here. I love pets. And I saw so many of them. And I did my math at first. Was like, all right, cool. So a legendary under 830 something is a deal. And a mythic under 200, like whatever it was, or 2,000, whatever, is a deal. And so I just started buying
Snagging them.
pets.
Nice.
Snag 'em
Yeah.
up.
All
I don't
right.
know. I probably got some good pets, but I probably paid way too much.
All right. Let's go over to kind of at the end of the AMA. One of the questions that came up was about tokenomics and the pressure that unlocking Jewel is going to have on the game itself. And then there was also in the Kingdom Builder website, there was a community grant proposal for Kingdom Builder. Let me bring this up now.
Yeah,
A community
it's
grant proposal.
basically
Yeah, Neindorf, you pointed me to this, and I've already lost the link already. What give us the rundown while I kind of search for this again.
yeah, it's basically, next to the grant proposals, they had another one that's like community brainstorming where you kind of create a post and brainstorming about ideas. And this one was game critical tokenomics updates. And it was basically a person out there with some sort of experience in analyzing tokenomics, kind of the long and short of it, the TLDR kind of seemed to say that Jule's currently in trouble, is in the fact that there's so much of it coming out still of that original 500 million, and there's not enough ways to use it, and so people are just selling. And he's kind of pointing to that's why the price is continuing to maybe decline versus other, maybe versus one. Like if in the Jewel one pair, it's like it was up to 30 or 40 even maybe one per jewel, and now it's like under 10 again. So I think there's something to be said about that. And obviously long term with combat and duels, you kind of think that this is going to resolve itself, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think from my standpoint, I've been looking forward to combat being a mechanism that's really healthy for the game. I think it will be ultimately the economic engine that makes the game successful, because I think that's what it has to be at heart. It has to be a game that people want to play and that people are willing to invest in. Other words, use their money to play for a chance to win, and to try out their skills or to like these tokens. And so I think that I I haven't gone through the current proposal. I'll definitely read it after this. I think I have. I would say I've gone from minor to maybe moderate caution. I'm not doing anything at the moment. And again, this is all not financial advice. I'm not planning on selling, and even if it does go to like severe or significant, I think I'm in it for the long haul, anyways. I just might complain more when that happens, but I don't see myself getting out of this. In fact, I might continue to just keep buying as the Titanic goes down, but I hope that doesn't happen. How about you, Ogre? What are your thoughts?
I mean, I love the game. I think the team is working. I don't think it's going anywhere. Like there's a lot of ways where Jewel is at least temporarily tied up and pulled out of circulation that people don't account for, i.e., like the quest fund. And as the game goes on, I don't know if they're going to have more quest funds or if that quest fund is just going to get bigger because more people are playing it. But that's the key. Just with any product, it's growing the community.
Yeah.
If we grow the community, then there's more demand. If there's more demand, then it doesn't really matter. The game's going to keep going, and eventually those tokens aren't going to be coming out. In a few years, it's going to be limited supply, and it's getting burned too every time there's a transaction on the DFK chain. So
Yeah.
I'm not really worried about it. Like long term, I don't think there's going to be an issue at all, personally.
You
Yeah,
just made
I
me think of
agree.
something.
Say
Go on.
what?
Go on.
I was gonna say, you just made me think of something there with your comment. When they were announcing DFK Duel and the fact that you were going to be able to win raffle tickets, my mind was like, you got to be kidding me. But that actually might be a tokenomics play. I
Mm,
think that might actually be a way to take Jewel out of circulation temporarily, to your point, such that it's in these other funds, and then
Yep.
they can give away items or
yeah.
new things or land even. And think of the amount of Jewel that you could remove from circulation from this sort of a system. I hadn't really considered that, but man, I think that's it. I
Yeah.
think that's what it is.
Kind of a form of layering. Something that came. Well, I don't know. It hit me recently. I'm probably, not quite as smart as the average bear, but when I think about the hero supply, something that that people have been really worried about on Discord, and I don't know if I ever got to the point of being worried, but it's like, should they have some kind of burning mechanism for heroes? Like, there's too many heroes. But something that has changed, or at least I've realized more recently, as I'm running out of, you know, uh, the runes. Their words are hard tonight. As I'm running, and I haven't even had a drink tonight. As I'm running out of runes and using more runes to level up my favorite heroes, I'm realizing I need more crappy heroes, the floor level
Yup.
heroes, to go on quests. And
Everybody should have a farming team of like 30 to 50 heroes for each of the four professions. That should be a goal that
right.
everybody's trying to get to, because those items that we're finding,
Mm-hmm.
there's not a whole lot to do with them right now, but there is some stuff. Like
Yeah.
I just used mine to make potions, stamina potions, so that I could hurry up and level up a few of my heroes and re-roll them to get a full level out of it, right?
Yeah.
And if I hadn't had a hero farming army, I would have had to go buy all that stuff.
Right.
But
And
there's definitely a way to balance the game so that you don't have to invest more money into it, and it becomes basically a faucet for you.
yeah.
And that's what I would say everybody should be aiming to do for all of these blockchain games, right? Unless you're just have a bunch of money and you're here to pay to play and enjoying the revolution, cool, have fun. But I think most of us are here to try and figure out how we can enjoy making money
Oh yeah.
and kind of make a career out of this. I know that was my goal,
Eh,
and it's all about building a sustainable
yeah, and
account in the game.
yeah, just like you're saying, and like Neindorf, what you just pulled up on the query is that, I mean, that's the same with feeding your pets as well. That's just going to be like feeding your heroes runes, and so to keep your pets performing at their best or at their optimum, you need to make sure. So all the bloat or surplus that you have right now, you're going to start burning through that, especially if you have 9 pets on your 9 most powerful heroes, so you can participate in the quote unquote wars, if that's going to be the way that combat takes shape in the future. So, yeah. Anyways, my very long-winded way of saying, I started to realize that there might not be as many problems as I thought there once were because of this team's ability to always kind of look, 1, 2, 3 steps ahead. And we're starting to, as they're releasing more features, reveal how they're solving some of these problems with in-game solutions, which is really awesome.
Well, and something else to keep in mind, right? My brother worked at a video game company, and a game like Fallout 76 takes 4 to 6 years to build.
Hmm.
We are essentially kickstarting a game and forcing them to publish an update every 2 weeks, right? That is an extremely ridiculous timeline for software development to have like a playable, tested, or a fully functioning um, product that people can use money and put through it,
Oh yeah,
right?
and it's
So
not blockchain.
right. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, and I think that things will incrementally get better, and we'll see more stuff roll out over time, like every 2 weeks, right? We're gonna see something, and some of those things are gonna be big and cool and wow us, and some of them, meh, whatever. Um, but I have also noticed a cycle because I've been playing blockchain games since 2018, and that like when something first comes out, there's always a flurry, like pets. And then the longer it takes them to implement pets, the lower they're going to go in value because people will just slowly capitulate over time. And then once they implement the feature, it's going to boom. All of a sudden, everybody's going to want pets because all of a sudden they're cool, assuming it's a cool feature.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and again, not speculation and definitely not financial advice. That kind of sounded like it, but no. It is kind of a pattern, though, to where you can kind of intelligently get your pets. If you don't have a bunch of pets right now and you know you want to, sock away a little bit of cash, learn more about them, get ready for it, and as you hear them talking about an update, then it's probably about time to get them. But you might miss the update because they
Yeah,
might not talk about it.
that was my
Yeah.
that was my original theory, and now I'm just too nervous. I'm too scared. So
Right?
I might just need to go now. I'll have the fear of doing it. Okay. Anything else you guys wanted to talk about? Kingdom Builders.
I think it's you got to give some stuff away, man.
That's what I was just thinking. All right.
Hit it.
So let's do the DFK duel. So I am going to, I play at the $5 blackjack table, which is good because I've been doing nothing but losing. Um, I'm going to load up one of my heroes, and I'm going to be at the cheapest jewel amount. As soon as I select my hero now, and press the go button, they're going to be ready to go, and you can fight against them. And whoever, and I'm hoping it's someone on YouTube. So jump out there. If you beat me, you get a green egg. So I'm selecting my hero, and I'm creating my duel.
Ooh,
right
so they get to
now.
see what hero you're using too. They get all inside.
No, I'm hiding that screen at the moment. I think I
Oh,
am. I mean, we'll see. I'll probably get beat anyways. I don't even know why I'm trying to hide it.
that's funny.
All right, and then I'll share
And
my screen for you guys.
keep in mind, everybody, we've got a hero giveaway coming out yet too.
Yep. All right, sharing my screen so you guys can see it as well. All right, we're now playing the waiting game. All right.
Oh,
One of our viewers has to jump in.
someone's got to get some liquid gold here.
Someone gets pretty much a free 1,500 gold. So for an egg, well, yeah, you get the gold and the egg if you beat me.
That's right. Um, so maybe do you want to do while we wait, do you want to maybe do
Oh yeah, let's do that.
our other giveaway?
Yeah, go ahead and start lining it up.
So yeah, so listeners out there, how many we got on the stream by chance? We got
Oh,
what are
we got a challenger awaiting. Can I interrupt you?
uh-oh. All right, we'll pause. Yep, we'll pause. Let's watch this. This is way more exciting.
Okay, and then we'll jump right back to that. I promise. All right. Oh, I gotta approve my MetaMask transaction. All right, so I'm using my thief, my favorite hero that I have, thief mythic with boosted luck. All right, the battle is starting. I think I'm just gonna get wrecked here. Okay, we're fighting off against
Ooh,
JHW3D. Excellent.
nice.
All right, Lucky Strike. That's what I need coming in. Lucky Strike's hitting
Oh, the
hard.
luck.
Dexterity's hitting hard. Ooh, Wisdom hits all right. Intelligence hitting. Endurance.
Ooh,
Um, that he
this is
definitely
gonna be a
hits.
tough one.
Endurance is a big hitter. Oh, strength and vitality. Oh, he's making a comeback. Oh,
Oh,
I'm about done. I am
uh,
going to be toast. Oh, and he cleans me out.
oh wow.
Layla wins. Excellent job, JHW3D. All right, hit me up with your OX over on Discord, and I'll send you. You are a winner of, well, you get the 1,500 gold, and you also get a green egg. So congratulations. Thanks for
Very
playing.
nice. Well, that was
That's a
fun.
lot of fun. And if you'd like, go ahead and post the video of this in Discord for bragging rights. Um, Excellent job there. So you had your a warrior that just cleaned up. Nice work. All right. So I'm gonna stop sharing my stream with you guys here to clean up. Okay, Nine North. I interrupted. So what do you want to do for your giveaway?
Yeah, our Discord friend Pouring here, he has actually it turns out he has a rare hero to give away. We're gonna do that here on the stream. So everybody, hop into chat, give him a big thank you for providing us with this hero. So I was gonna say, how many people we got on the stream right now, Raph? What are we at?
We got 29 concurrent viewers.
All right, so that's cool. So, all right, so we wanted to do a little different giveaway. So this is going to be a pretty straightforward one. The first person that we see who enters in the heroes class wins it. Boom. So start typing them out.
All right.
One entry only, please. What's the first
Yeah,
class?
one entry only. If you start entering in more than one, you're automatically disqualified.
Yep. What's the class? What's the class of this hero?
Class of the
It is a
hero.
rare. I'm going to rely on you, Raph, to tell me.
All right. I got the live chat going. I do not see it yet. There's a few in. I do not see it.
Keep keep guessing, folks. We're going to get this.
Oh, wow. This is apparently a good one. I do not see. Okay, there
How
we
many of
go.
you?
There we go. Archer. So
That was it.
Fisher on YouTube. It is an Archer. You are the first to show up on our screen. So Fisher, go ahead and type type in your Discord name right here, so I know it's you, and then hit me up on Discord, and we'll go ahead and send this wonderful rare archer over to your OX. All right,
Yep.
Neindorf. Why don't you go ahead and I'll bring up the tavern, and I'll display this wonderful hero. What's his number?
Yeah, the number is 168278.
All right,
All
awesome.
right. Can I throw a hero in the mix? I don't know how
Oh
we're going to give it away, but
yeah,
all
I
right.
love it.
So yeah, hero 161543. How do we give
one
that away?
6 1
You get to
5
choose.
4
What do you want to
3.
do? Ask a question. Take your pick.
Shit, I don't know.
Might
Totally not prepared for
one
that.
six one five four three. Might
Uh,
nining. All right. Night
Yep.
mining. I got my
might
Yep.
not. There you go.
might nining. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
Night
I,
Pirate with
turds
mining
wisted.
layers or level 3.
Nice. This is
now we got
awesome.
to come up with a trivia question or something. You got one? Raph, you're good at trivia questions.
I
What you
I
got one?
got one in my back pocket that I was thinking about using for the egg giveaway today. So it's a rough one. It was going to be pet theme related. My avatar on Discord is a raptor, a dinosaur, and we love Jurassic Park, and we have not
Yeah,
done any
absolutely.
Jurassic Park references in a while. So give me your favorite raptor centric quote from Jurassic Park 1, and the first person who generally gets a quote that Neindorf and I like, then we'll give away this hero.
And Ogre, don't forget, we should
And
let him
Ogre,
be the
yes. Oh,
deciding
actually,
factor.
Ogre, do you like? Are you okay? Hold on, Ogre, are you okay with this giveaway style? Otherwise, we can switch it up.
Oh, I'm totally okay with it.
All right, cool.
Yeah, go for
Yeah,
it.
your hero. Yes, thank you, Neindorf.
Uh,
Okay, Zachary Parker was first to hit Clever Girl.
that's a good one.
Don't look them in the eye. That's a good one. They do move the herds. A great Ian Malcolm quote: "Dinosaur apes man, woman inherits the earth."
Yeah, yeah.
Um, let's see. That's one big
Great one.
pile of shit, which YouTube is blocking. Let's see. Life finds a way. Scientists were so preoccupied with whether they could, they didn't stop to think if they should. I mean, these, and this is shoot her at the very beginning where what's his name? He's like shoot her.
Oh yeah.
So the guy's
Huh.
like get drug into the cage again. Um, all right.
And those are the best ones.
Okay, so
I
those
think
are some pretty good ones. It's bringing me back down memory lane here in terms of Jurassic Park. Ogre, you got one that sticks out to you that Crypto Meme has Roar. That's a good one. I like that. All right.
They're all great, man.
They're
And
good.
I also watched Jurassic Park. It's a great movie. I kind of want to go back and watch it now, especially with the new one I got out.
yeah, I'm looking
Yes.
forward to that. That's a really interesting take on it. Dinosaurs took over the planet. Like, man, I'm
Yeah,
excited.
I need to check it out. I don't know I don't really know. I've watched maybe like the trailer when I was watching an NBA game here recently. Have they released the build up to this? Like, I need to know how are they at this point? Like, what's going on?
I haven't seen anything which explains how they jumped, or at least how the land-born dinosaurs jumped from the island to the rest of the continents. But essentially, that's what's happened, and they're just running rampant and destroying society and humanity, just reconquering the planet. Now, I mean, the water-based and airborne-based, okay, that's plausible. I get it, but I don't think that dinosaurs figured out how to drive cargo boats. So, how did they make that jump? We'll have to see in the movie.
Yeah,
They're
Planet of the Apes reimagined.
they're testing the fences systematically.
Yes, I like that one.
Okay, is that one there?
They remember.
She remembers. That one's my favorite.
Uh,
Is that in the YouTube though?
if that's in there, we should give it.
Yeah,
Okay.
any one of them out there, like herd and strength and intelligence testing the border. She remembers. Yeah, I like it.
System. Yeah, that one says.
Oh yes, good stuff.
Okay,
So
still
those of you
looking.
in the YouTube chat, if that's not in there, now would be a good time to put something along those lines.
Yeah,
Uh,
not in there. I think. I don't know. So Clever Girl is a really good one.
and that was early. That was
That was
fast
really
too.
early. Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and give it. Are you okay with you guys giving it to Clever Girl? That was fast. That was actually the first one that dropped. Was it hit the rule of being Raptor centric, and it was Clever Girl. So I see Zachary Parker as my first up on YouTube chat. So, and I saw one right after it from Dag saying Clever Girl. Um, close. Close second place there. So sorry, Dags. This is gonna go to Zachary Parker.
Congratulations, Zachary.
Yeah.
All
What?
right,
I didn't see the hero. What was it actually? I was distracted.
a Might Nining. It's
Oh, that's right.
yeah,
It's a knight, yeah, a common knight archer whose profession is mining. It was up to level 3, I think.
yeah, six
Nice.
6.9. I think I saw a mining score, so pretty solid, right there.
Nice.
They're making a
Very nice.
difference. All right, yeah, Zachary Parker, go ahead and hit me up on Discord. Um, and yeah, everyone else, hit me up on Discord for the giveaway. And well, Neindorf, you're giving away the other hero, so hit Neindorf up for the hero. GHW3D, I got you on Discord. Send me your OX, and then Zachary Parker, send me message me on Discord, and we'll get your information.
Yeah. Again, thank you, Ogre and Pouring for those two heroes. That's awesome. We really appreciate it. It's kind of that community support, right? It's really fun to do these sort of events and to have guests like you come on and just kind of chat with us for a while here. Sometimes we go longer than others. I see we've been jabbing for a bit already.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you very much for
Absolutely.
coming on. Really appreciate it.
No worries. Appreciate you guys inviting me.
All right, thanks YouTube community for listening out there. Please subscribe and hit the likes. That helps us out if you would. All right, take care, and this is Raph signing off for the team. Thanks, guys.
Good night, everyone.